What's good, y'all? It's your boy Tone DeShields the second from Chalk It Up. Where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got charged to the game. Now, I want to discuss some things with you guys. If you guys haven't already noticed, the channel kind of went through a little bit of a makeover. The YouTube channel name is now Chalk It Up Sports Philly. Chalk It Up Sports Philly. That's the name of the YouTube channel going forward. I want to sort of create more of an identity, more of a brand around the content. And Chalk It Up Sports Philly is the new name for the YouTube channel. So I'm so grateful for you guys constantly supporting the transition, constantly supporting the transformation. So obviously my name is still Tone DeShields the second. Like that's my name, period. But the name of the YouTube channel is now Chalk It Up Sports Philly. We got a new logo up there. As you guys can see in the upper right-hand corner of the stream, we got a new logo. So really appreciate you guys for locking in with the content. Shout out to my man already, Black Goliath, with the $5 super chat. Super grateful to you, my man. A lot going on in my life. I'm about to move again. Going through some trials with my current landlord that I'm not even gonna really get into, but me and wifey doing pretty good. So we doing all right enough to make another move. So by the end of the month, I'll be moving into my new apartment. Really looking forward to that. A lot of changes going on. So that's why the content hasn't been flowing the way it's supposed to. I'm in the middle of packing. My current apartment is all over the place with boxes, but super grateful to you guys for locking in. Super grateful to Black Goliath for locking in and donating to the channel with the $5 super chat. I'm humbled by it. But yeah, like I said, you guys, the YouTube channel got a little bit of a makeover. Going to dedicate the channel strictly to the Philadelphia Eagles and the Philadelphia 76ers, all sports really. But Chalk It Up Sports Philly, that's the new identity for the channel. And hopefully you guys are welcome into that change. So tell me how you guys are feeling, man. Tell me what's on your mind. A lot's been going on in the sports world. And the Philadelphia Eagles, their record isn't as optimal, but talk to me. What's on your minds? Tell me what y'all thinking. Eagle Slayer, what's going on? We got 3 people in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Like I was telling people, the channel went through a little bit of a makeover in the past 24 hours. So hopefully you guys are open to it. Got a new logo, a new look. Wanted to create more of an identity, more something that you guys can get behind, like a stamp. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate you guys for locking in. Really humbled by that. Like I said, the channel name is called Chalk It Up Sports Philly. So we still chalking it up. You know what I'm saying? We still charging it to the game like we always do, win or lose. You know how we get down. So I just I'm just here to kick it with y'all, talk sports, talk about the latest with the Eagles, the latest with the Sixers. You know what I'm saying? Whatever's on your mind, let's discuss it. Right now, Eagle Slayer says they need to trade Ben Simmons already. I'm with you on that. I believe honestly, it's the relationship is soured. The relationship is done. There's nothing more. There's nothing more for Ben Simmons in Philadelphia. Let's just call it. Let's just call it what it is. There's nothing more. There's nothing left. The relationship is soured. His relationship with Joel Embiid never really was the sturdiest. If we're being completely honest with ourselves, that relationship was always kind of tongue in cheek. I feel like they always just maintained for the simple fact of appearances, but overall, that relationship is over and done with. It's only a matter of time before they trade him. Obviously, we know he's sitting out, but that's really going to hurt him in the long run. That's not going to really help his stock. That's not really going to help other teams want to buy into him or invest in his game or invest in him just in general. So Ben Simmons really hasn't really been doing the best. Whoever is handling his public relations is not doing a good job at all. He's taking bad advice. He's already losing over three. He already lost over 300K. I think almost 400K from not showing up to the game, the preseason game. And I'm just get the city at this point. I believe they're over it. They moved on. I'm pretty much over it. I'm moving on. Again, Ben Simmons, he's a talented individual. He's talented. I'm not going to take nothing away from him. Ben Simmons is extremely talented. But the problem is the fact that Ben Simmons really can't get out of his own way. And the fact that Ben Simmons really doesn't believe there's anything wrong. He believes he did nothing wrong. He doesn't believe that he is responsible for anything that's been going on with this team. And that makes me scratch my head. That makes me scratch my head in terms of how can you honestly say with a straight face, you don't know that this came out of left field. And he claims that the team really didn't do much to make him comfortable. He claims that the team really didn't pay too much to his mental health and all this stuff. And look, I'm real big on mental health. So I kind of feel like he's using it in vain. Now, we do know he is going through some issues mentally from a basketball perspective. He clearly has a mental block when it comes to putting the ball in the hoop. But the bottom line is, I feel like he's kind of using it as a cop-out in terms of how he hasn't taken accountability for the situation. I feel like he's trying to make it seem as though the organization has ignored his mental health the entire time he's there. And I just don't think that's true. I feel like the organization has done so many things to make that man comfortable. They've given him the money. They've built the roster more so around him than Joel Embiid. If you really think about it in totality, they brought in shooters. Think about all the shooters we brought in the past. We brought in Marco Bellinelli, JJ Redick, Ursula Ilyasova, Seth Curry, Danny Green, Al Horford, who's a stretch 4 or stretch 5, however you want to put it. We brought in Jimmy Butler, but then got rid of him because Ben Simmons wanted the ball in his hands in crucial situations. But Ben Simmons has done nothing in crucial situations. You feel what I'm saying? So Ben Simmons really doesn't really have a leg to stand on, in my opinion. Ben Simmons really isn't holding himself accountable. And you can tell he's surrounding himself with people who aren't going to hold him accountable as well. We also brought in Landry Shamet. Shout out to my man Kyrie Williams. That's my brother, man. We also brought in Landry Shamet. What's the French guy that played for the Brooklyn Nets now? Luau Cabarro, something like that. I can't remember his name. But the bottom line is the team brought in multiple people to make Simmons comfortable. They brought in multiple people to make the game easier for Ben Simmons. And he's remained the same player. Who's been holding him accountable? If we're being frank, the organization hasn't held him accountable. They should have did it early. They should have did it early before the ego got to where it is now. They should have did it earlier in his career when he was a little bit more impressionable. So the organization has to hold some accountability as well. But Ben Simmons, to act like you are completely absolved of anything that happened in the past six or 7 months, it's blasphemous. It's contradictory. It makes no sense to me. Philly Ace says Ben Simmons choked in the preseason. That's a fact. Ryan Rose says Ben Simmons needs to be held accountable of his jump shots and free throws and being aggressive. I agree with you, man. Like outside of the jump shot, right? If he can just be a 70% free throw shooter and just be aggressive on a regular basis, Ben Simmons, he'll be everything we need. He's just not aggressive enough. Eagle Slayer says Saric was underrated too. Yeah, almost forgot about Dario Saric, a stretch 4. We've drafted players. We brought in when we drafted Isaiah Joe. Isaiah Joe was a sniper in college when he played. So, and he's doing a great job now shooting the ball in the preseason. So, all the moves the team has been making has been for Ben Simmons to make him comfortable. Everything. So I don't understand his angle. And it sucks because I actually like Rich Paul, but it's different when it's starting to affect the organization I care about, right? You know, there's always been these rumors and thoughts surrounding Rich Paul around the NBA because the way he moves, he's sort of he's sort of the grim reaper of the NBA. A lot of organizations don't really like how he moves. A lot of other agents don't like how he moves. But I've always liked Rich Paul just because of the Maverick Carter connection and the LeBron connection and what they stand for, so on and so forth. But I don't like it when it's affecting my team, right? I don't like it when it's affecting the team I care about, the Philadelphia 76ers. That's one thing that's really not sitting right with me. So, damn if you do, damn if you don't. It is what it is. But Ben Simmons has to hold some accountability. I got a feeling he will show up at some point because I think, like I said, he's been getting bad advice, and I think they're overshooting their mark. And I think they're underestimating how long the Philadelphia 76ers are willing to let this thing stand. The Philadelphia 76ers are not in a rush to move him. They don't have to be in a rush to move him. It is what it is. And then it's really not going to help his case if the Philadelphia 76ers play well without him, or if they're even better without him. Now, I personally don't think we're better without him. He's you can't replace that level of production on defense. You can't replace that kind of size and athleticism. You can't replace that basketball IQ and court vision. You just can't replace it, right? But if this team can continue to win without Ben Simmons, that's not going to help his stock at all. That's just my thought process. Tell me what y'all think. Philly A says the Eagles need to get a win this week against the Panthers. I hope the Eagles need to wake up on both sides, like defense and offense. It's funny because the offense is trending in the right direction, but the defense is really, really, really where the problems lie. The defense needs to establish their identity. The defense doesn't blitz enough. They keep playing off the line of scrimmage. I don't understand what Jonathan Gannon's deal is, but it seems like Jonathan Gannon doesn't trust his players. And it's funny because when he came into this team, one of the things he built his reputation on, and one of the things that he was using as a selling point for himself was the fact that he was going to use guys the way they were supposed to be used. He was going to put guys in the best position for them to succeed. And I don't really see that. The linebackers have been constantly being exposed, and it's showing that, like we already knew, that Jeffrey Lurie, Howie Roseman, they're not prioritizing the linebacker position. We haven't really given our corners, let's be all right, Steven Nelson got torched by Tyreek Hill. But other than that, our corners have been playing pretty decent, in my opinion. But the linebackers have just been getting eaten alive. On offense, we're not running the ball enough, and that's the real problem. The real problem is we're not running the ball enough, and we're not helping our quarterback. I was keeping up with that Rams game last night, right? The Rams and the Seahawks game. I was keeping up with that game last night, and I noticed something. I noticed that the Los Angeles Rams, they ran the ball 29 times to Matthew Stafford's 37 attempts. That's balance. That's balance right there. The fact that the Los Angeles Rams have such a potent passing attack, they're still running the ball 25 plus times, like legitimately running the ball. None of that whole finesse RPO crap. They're legitimately running the ball. And they have a gunslinger in Matthew Stafford. They have Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Deshaun Jackson. They got guys that can catch that ball, Tyler Higbee. They have a potent passing attack, right? But they're still not forgetting the foundation of football, and that's running the ball. We're not running the ball enough, and it's starting to put everybody in compromising positions. It's not by us not running the ball, we're not able to sustain drives. By us not running the ball, we're not able to get Jalen Hurts comfortable. We're not able to really take advantage of his ability to run because the team knows, or the opposing team knows, if we run the ball, it's most likely it's going to be Jalen Hurts. And it makes it easier for them to plan around our game, our scheme, or whatever we do. Like I said, the Rams ran the ball 29 times last night. The Seahawks, they ran the ball a total of 15, 18, 20, 24, 25. They ran the ball 25 times. They ran the ball 25 times to their 33 passes. So teams, even the best of teams, are still running the ball. I don't understand why we feel like we're exempt from running the ball. Why does Nick Sirianni feel that we're above running the ball? This is not college where you're just going to RPO people to death. You're just going to read option people to death. You can't do that. Teams catch on. You have to run the ball. You should never be too good or above running the ball. You have Miles Sanders back there. He, in my opinion, is a top 15, top 12 running back in this NFL. Potentially top 10 if he gets the reps. And that's the problem. We still don't know just how good Miles Sanders can be because we're not giving him the reps. And I'm starting to believe he's getting hurt the way he does because his body isn't getting his body isn't conditioned to the constant reps. If iron sharpens iron. If you consistently get used to getting hit, being used to getting touched, then you're not gonna get hurt as much. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get those soft tissue injuries. That's pretty much what Miles Sanders has been dealing with: soft tissue injuries, hamstring things like that. The ticky tack things. Nothing when it comes to breaking anything or snapping anything or tearing anything. It's all just been soft tissue injuries. We have to run the ball. We have to get Miles Sanders involved in the offense. Kenny Gainwell, same thing. Shout out to Philly Ace for bringing that point up. Philly Ace. Kenny Gainwell can run the ball as well. So we need to run the ball 25 plus times. We have to. I don't understand. Like, I'm looking at week 4, right? And we ran the ball a total of 8, 11 plus 7 is 18. Only 19 times. And only 10 times with the running back. We only ran the ball 10 times with our running backs last week. Why is Jalen Hurts throwing the ball 48 times? He's not that type of quarterback. Why are they trying to turn him into a Peyton Manning or a Tom Brady throwing the ball 50 plus times? That's not his style. That's not who he is. That's not who he is. Let's think about week 3. Week 3, he threw the ball 39 times. We only ran the ball 3 times with our running backs. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. Let's think about week 2. Week 2 against the San Francisco 49ers. We ran the ball a total of 20 times. We only ran the ball a total of 19 times with the running backs. Granted, we didn't really have that many possessions or plays that previous game, but we only ran the ball a total of 19 times with our running backs. We got away from it. And then on top of that, you think about the week 1 where we got our first and only win. How many times did we run the ball? Miles Sanders ran the ball 15 times. That's the most he's run the ball in the game all season. Kenny Gainwell ran the ball 9 times. The most he's ran the ball all season. And Jalen Hurts ran the ball 7 times. So that's a total of 15 plus 7. That is 22. 22 plus 9. We ran the ball. Yeah, 22 plus 9. That's 31. We ran the ball 31 times. 31 times. That's what I like. And Jalen Hurts threw the ball 35 times. We ran the ball 31 times. A total of 24 times with the running backs. I can work with that. I can work with that. But we have to get that. We have to get the running game involved. When you got a mobile quarterback like Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders and Kenny Gainwell, there's no reason why we shouldn't be having a potent running attack. There's no reason why we shouldn't be ranked top 10 or top 5 in rushing offense. There's no reason for it. And we got a tough matchup this week. You know what I'm saying? T. Lewis Bird Gang says Gannon got to get the defense together. Stop playing zone, blitz a little, and play man. Yeah, he got to mix it up, man. He's doing too much of the same thing. He's giving the defenses too many of the same looks. He's got to trust his defense. He's got to trust his players and get those guys more involved, man. He has to blitz more. He can't keep allowing his linebackers to drop back when this is not what they do. We've just been compromised at the linebacker position, and it's showing that we haven't really invested too much in that position. And time again, we're just getting gutted. Our corners, outside of the Tyreek Hill debacle, have been doing pretty good. No wide receiver has really gotten off on us except for Tyreek Hill and maybe Deebo Samuel, maybe. But other than that, we've been doing a pretty good job. Locked up Kevin Ridley, like locked up Amari Cooper and basically, CeeDee Lamb did his thing. But overall, the team is not where they should be, or where I thought they would be right now. And Nick Sirianni and Jonathan Gannon and Shane Steichen, we don't talk about him enough either. They have a lot of explaining to do. The coaching staff has a lot of explaining to do. I want to also talk about Nick Riles, the linebackers coach. What does he do again? What is he doing? Because these linebackers aren't pulling their weight, in my humble opinion. Let's just call a spade a spade. What's Nick Riles doing? Nick Riles is what? My age? Let's just call a spade a spade. Nick Riles is my age, right? I'm 26. How old is Nick Riles? 30? Like, I don't know. Like, it's strange to me. T. Lewis says, Gannon said we don't have the personnel to play dime coverage. Shaking my head. Didn't we just drive a cornerback? I don't know, man. I don't know. When he said that, I was like, huh? Like, what do you mean we don't have the personnel to play dime? Do you not trust your corners? Do you not trust them? How that make sense? I don't know, man. Jonathan Gannon, he's starting to fall out of favor with me. I'm just gonna keep it G with y'all. But yeah, you guys, like I said to you guys before, the YouTube channel has converted to Chalk It Up Sports Philly. That's the name of the YouTube channel. We got a new logo and everything. Chalk It Up Sports Philly with your guy Tone DeShields II. You know what I'm saying? Same energy, same love, same analysis. Same passion, just a different look. Just got a little bit of a makeover. So I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate you guys for rolling with me to the bitter end. Really appreciate y'all. But yeah, we got a tough matchup this week. Let's just keep it. Let's just keep it a buck. The Panthers, they have a great defense. You take away that Cowboys matchup, they've been shutting people down. The Cowboys have just been balling. The Cowboys offense is off the chain. Kellen Moore going crazy. You know what I'm saying? But Dak Prescott going crazy. Ezekiel Elliott, they're doing their thing. That team is showing that they got multiple people that can put the ball in the end zone. But we got the Panthers this week. The Panthers coming off a loss to the Dallas Cowboys. We got to ruin it. We got to ruin a week again. We got to keep the Carolina Panthers from getting comfortable. They have a very, very interesting running attack. Their team, their quarterback Sam Darnold leads the league, or leads their team in rushing touchdowns, I believe. And on top of that, like I said, their defense is legit. Now, J.C. Horn, I believe, is out for the year or something like that. I believe J.C. Horn is injured, their corner, but they also brought in Stephon Gilmore. I don't know if Stephon Gilmore is going to play because he probably still has to acclimate himself to their scheme, but he's a veteran. I'm pretty sure he's going to go out there for some snaps. But the Carolina Panthers have a legit team. They're good. Yeah, they got exposed by the Cowboys, but they're good. They've held teams to under 20 points habitually outside of that Cowboys game. Ryan Rose says, feed Miles Sanders a lot better. Feed Miles Sanders a lot better, and he needs to contribute on playing more defense and more carries to reach at least 17 carries for Miles Sanders. Yeah, no, basically what he's saying is we got to feed Miles Sanders, and the more we feed him, the more he can contribute, and he got to get at least 17 carries. Right. I'm with you on that. I'm with you. Now, here's the good thing. Hold on, wait. Philly A says if the Panthers would have J.C. Horn or the Dallas Cowboys wouldn't have won this game. Possibly. Who knows? But let's talk about this. There's a chance Christian McCaffrey may not play. That's going to help us, right? That's good. That's going to help us big time. That's going to help us big time. By Christian McCaffrey not being there, that's gonna limit their rushing attack. And I think that's going to force Sam Darnold to pass that ball a lot more. Now they do have the kid Trouba Hubbard. He's averaging 3.7 yards a carry. He doesn't have any touchdowns yet. His longest run of the season was 14 yards. On 32 attempts, he has 119 yards. So he hasn't really been stellar, but at the same time, we got to pay attention to guys like DJ Moore, who's having a hell of a season right now. DJ Moore, on 30 receptions and 43 targets, has 398 yards and 3 touchdowns, averaging 13 yards a catch. His longest catch of the season, 39 yards, and he's averaging almost 100 yards a game. We got to also keep our eye on Robbie Anderson, who hasn't really broken out this year, but still, we got to keep an eye out for him. We got to keep, like, DJ Moore is clearly Sam Darnold's favorite target. So if we can shut down DJ Moore and force Sam Darnold to beat us getting the ball to other people, then we have a chance. If Christian McCaffrey's not in, we have a chance. But our offense has to put numbers on the board. Our offense has to actually take advantage of the fact that they're missing J.C. Horn, but they just brought in Stephon Gilmore. Now, how healthy is Stephon Gilmore? That's a good question, right? Is Stephon Gilmore ready to play this Sunday? He just got picked up this week. Did he pass his physical? I don't know yet. I don't know. But this game is going to really be another test. We're running up against, I believe, a top 5. We're running up against a top 5 defense this week. That's no cat. And we have to trust the fact that Jalen Hurts can get us through. Now, Jalen Hurts has a lot to prove as well. Everyone has a lot to prove right now. This team is 1-4. 1-4. I didn't think we'd be 1-4. At the very worst right now, I thought we'd be 2-2. Or I'm sorry, not 2-2, 3-2, or 2-3. But 1-4. 1-4. That's just not cool to me. I felt like we should have beat San Fran. I felt like we were never in that Dallas Cowboys game. They just had our number through and through. So as far as September, we should at least been 2-1. I felt like the way we played against the Chiefs, we could have beat them, but the fact that our defense couldn't stop a nosebleed was the problem. Our defense, and it always goes back to defense. If it don't matter how good our offense is, if the defense can't stop anybody, it's pointless. And then you get into discipline. The team has not been disciplined at all. At all. I think we lead the league in penalties right now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we lead the league in penalties. We got to lead the league in penalties. It's no way we don't. There's no way we don't. How do you guys feel about the news surrounding Fletcher Cox and his role? Because they asked Fletcher Cox pretty bluntly, do you feel that your role in this team hasn't really been catered to your strengths? And he kind of laughed it off. And he basically said, I'm just doing what, the defense needs me to do. But that's a good question because Fletcher Cox hasn't really been a threat all season. As a matter of fact, let's just go through the stats because I actually don't believe he has a tackle at all. Let's just make sure I'm not wrong about that. But I don't believe he has a tackle at all. Okay, I lied. Fletcher Cox got 5 tackles on the season so far. Javon Hargrave got 24 tackles. You see the disparity in that? Javon Hargrave has 24 total tackles, and Fletcher Cox has 5 total tackles and no sacks. Javon Hargrave got 5 sacks on the season. We've played 5 games, averaging a sack a game. And he has 6 tackles for loss. Fletcher Cox, no tackles for loss. I don't really understand what's really been going on with Fletcher Cox because his job is pretty straightforward. Go get the quarterback. Go after the running back. collapse the offensive line. His job is pretty simple. So I'm not understanding how he hasn't really been able to break through. Javon Hargrave has. Now, Fletcher Cox did get that fumble recovery for touchdown. I give him credit for that. He had the awareness to do that. But Fletcher Cox really hasn't been living up to expectation this year. So that begs the question, is Fletcher Cox regressing? Or is this scheme really not suited to Fletcher Cox's strengths? But it's weird because we still run a 4-3 for the most part. So I'm not understanding that either. I haven't watched any all 22 personally. I've been watching other guys all 22 breakdowns. Shout out to Breaking the Birds. But Fletcher Cox has been a disappointment this season. He has no sacks through 5 games. The season is already damn near a third over. Damn near about 30% over. The season is about 30% done. And the Eagles are 1-4. So make it make sense, you guys. Well, I'm sorry, we're 1-3. I keep saying 1-4. We're 1-3. My bad, y'all. We 1-3. I keep saying 1-4. We're 1-3. Excuse me, through 4 games. Fletcher Cox has no sacks. So tell me what y'all think. What do y'all think the problem with Fletcher Cox is? Is he not acclimating to Jonathan Gannon's scheme? Is he regressing? Is he losing a step? You know what I'm saying? Because Javon Hargrave making this thing look easy. Making it look real easy. So, also, I want to talk about the injury report as of today as well. The injury report as of today, Lane Johnson most likely will not play this Sunday. I think he's considered out already. He's not playing this Sunday. Darius Slade's on the injury report, but he says he's out for a personal matter. Jordan Mailata is limited right now, but he's supposed to play. Jason Kelsey is resting. Avonte Maddox is dealing with a bit of a neck injury, and Quez Watkins is dealing with a knee. He did tweak something in that last game. But they all were 4 participants. 4 participants in practice. And so far, the projected offensive line will be Dillard at left tackle, Dickerson at left guard, Kelsey at center, Driscoll at right guard, and Mailata at right tackle. The good thing, Mailata, he knows how to play both left tackle and right tackle spots. So that's what makes him really good. His ability to play both sides. Andre Dillard, my man, Andre Dillard. This once again, you got to be a big week ahead of you. And these past 2 games, you haven't really been pulling your weight. Actually, you were a penalty machine last week. I think you generated about 3 or 4 penalties by yourself. As a matter of fact, I think we lost a touchdown because of one of your penalties. So let's talk about that as well. Like I said, the penalties are ridiculous. Just unacceptable. Also, you guys, make sure y'all hit that like button as well. It really helps the YouTube channel. It helps the algorithms. It really helps people find the content. It really helps with all that. You know what I'm saying? It really does help. Excuse me. So what do y'all think is going to happen with this game? What are y'all score predictions for the Panthers Eagles game? We play those guys at 1:00, I believe, 1:00 on Sunday, and we haven't won a 1:00 game in a long time. I don't understand what's going on with this team. I don't know if it's too early for them, but we haven't won a 1:00 game in so long at home. We just haven't. I don't understand what the hell's going on. You know, Eagle Slayer says 34-17 Panthers. Hey man, the way this Eagles team's been playing, how can I bet against that, right? Because the Panthers defense is legit. Their defense is legit. Like I said, they got exposed through the Cowboys, but the Cowboys is on fire right now. That's just the reality. The Cowboys are on fire right now. So we can't really go. We can't. We got to acknowledge that, right? But the Carolina Panthers defense, they are very good, and we have a tall task ahead of us. A tall task. I'm really worried about Jonathan Gannon's defense. I'm really worried, you know. And from a stat perspective, it's like we're giving up so much in the running game. We better pray Christian McCaffrey don't play on Sunday. We better pray. I know he's dealing with a hamstring injury. He's not at full strength, but we better pray that Christian McCaffrey don't play. We better pray. I mean that, man, because our rushing defense is the worst. And at this point, I got a feeling we're gonna let Trouba Hubbard get off. Like like normally Fletcher Cox is reacting to the run game. You can't run past that ball without him touching you. It seemed like everybody's getting past Fletcher Cox, and I don't understand it. Fletcher Cox is supposed to be a run stopper. He has not been that this season. This defensive line has not been run stoppers. Josh Sweat, where you at? Where you been at, Josh Sweat? You really haven't been living up to the contract. I've been expecting sacks from you. Derek Barnett, bonehead, man. Penalties. Don't understand it. Linebackers have been inept. Like, it's wild. The corners have been doing a pretty decent job outside of Steven Nelson when he got torched by Tyreek Hill. You know? And Eagles realist says Christian McCaffrey is doubtful for Sunday. I know, but they better pray it remains that way. They better pray that doubtful turns into an out, because Christian McCaffrey, he's that guy, and our run defense can't even plug a leak, man. Eagle Slayer, you're right. Where's Davion Taylor? Where's Sean Bradley? You know what I'm saying? Where are those guys? Where's Jacoby? Is Jacoby Stevens on a practice squad? I don't know what's going on. Where the pad? Listen, man. We have been getting mollywopped in the passing game when the ball is coming across the middle, attacking our linebackers. You know what I'm saying? The fact that we're playing this zone scheme with our linebackers, they're just not good at reading the pass. We've seen it time and time again. Pat Mahomes was just killing us. You know what I'm saying? We giving up long drives. And I was one of the people that had high hopes for Jonathan Gannon's offense. I was actually pulling for him a couple weeks ago, trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. But I'm losing that. I can't keep defending what I'm obviously seeing. Like teams are averaging at minimum 5 yards a carry on us. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. Make sure, like I said, make sure you guys hit that like button. It really helps. Any other score predictions for the game? Like me right now, and like I said, I'm real consistent. I'm always going to pull for my team to win. I'm not saying I'm not using it as an excuse to not be realistic, but I'm a Eagles supporter. I'm a Eagles fan, right? So my score prediction is always going to be in the mindset of my team winning. Now the score is going to be realistic, but it's always going to be a score that has my team as the winner, because that's what I want. I'm not in the business of putting bad juju in the air. So right now, when it comes to a score prediction for myself, when it comes to the Carolina Panthers and the Philadelphia Eagles, And we on the road. Can't forget that. I'm probably right now my score. I'm not going to lock in my score prediction until I do my pregame on Sunday with Philly Foothills from the Nets Out West. Shout out to him. But my score prediction for the game right now is 27-24 Eagles. That's my score prediction. 27-24 Eagles. Right now. And again, I'm not locking that in. That's just something that's on my mind right now. Eagles Realist says 2017 Eagles. I feel that. I feel you. I feel that. That means that you're saying that Jonathan Gannon's defense is going to hold the Carolina Panthers up to under 20 points. That's basically what you're saying. Eagle Slayer says, I don't see Gannon making it past 10 weeks if this doesn't let up. Right, I got you. Yeah, man. Like, I can't see him lasting the whole season if he's continuing to just give up yards like this. It just don't make sense to me. In the past 2 weeks, Jonathan Gannon's defense has given up 83 points and over 800 yards in total offense. Let that sink in, you guys. In the past 2 weeks against the Kansas City Chiefs and the Dallas Cowboys, Jonathan Gannon's defense has given up 83 total points and 800 yards between two teams. That is unacceptable. Where's the pride? Where's the adjustments? You're constantly seeing this guy put his team in compromising positions. You don't see any adjustments. I thought bringing this guy in would be a change of pace from Jim Schwartz. Yet, we're still seeing similar things. Jim Schwartz was always in man coverage, rarely blitzed. And then Jonathan Gannon, he's always in zone, never blitz. It's like we can never just have someone who's creative on defense. And I don't want to hear the excuse that, we don't have the personnel to do certain things. I don't want to hear that, man. That's BS. That's BS. That's pillow talk. Stop it. This team is more talented than what we've been showing. This team has more talent than what we've been showing, especially on the defensive side. Where's Ryan Kerrigan? Where's Josh Sweat? Fletcher Cox, where is he? Davion Taylor, Sean Brother, where are they? Darius Slay's been having a good year. Steven Nelson got ate up by Tyreek Hill last week. Anthony Harris has been having a good year so far. Rodney McLeod came back this past week and made it out healthy. Thank God. Where's this team's identity on defense? I have no idea what we are, who we are. Even on offense, we're still trying to figure out the identity. But at least the offense has shown that they're capable of putting 30-plus points on the board. They've shown they're capable of doing that. They've done it two out of the 4 games we've had. We've done it. We've shown that we're capable of putting up 30-plus points. We're capable. But if the defense can stop people, we'll be fine. The defense can't stop anybody. The defense can't get off the field. The offense can't keep the defense off the field either. So we'll go hand in hand. We're not playing complementary football. And that's the problem. Like I said, the linebackers have not been doing their job. Again, Nick Rallis, the linebacker coach. What are you coaching? What are you teaching these guys? You know what I'm saying? Tracy Rocker, I want to talk to you. I want to ask you a question as well. The D-line, everybody except for Javon Hargrave can't seem to get it together. Javon Hargrave came in ready. Everybody else on the D-line, where's the production? Where's the run stopping? Tracy Rocker, what's going on? Nick Sirianni keep coming into practice with these different shirts. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I understand he trying to embody the culture, but my man, but here's the thing. Let me throw him some bell. Fans are sending him the shirts, so he's just trying to show support for the fans, show that he's connected, show that he's paying attention to everyone, he's listening, show that he's really not trying to just act like he's above anybody. I get it. He's a young guy too. I get it. So I want to throw him some bell in that respect. But I don't want to see any kind of shirts like Beat Dallas. I don't want to see those kind of shirts. Now, he had on a Jeremiah Trotter shirt, I believe, today or yesterday. That's cool. You can have on a shirt supporting your players. But like, I don't want to see shirts like Beat Dallas. I don't want to see shirts of you calling out the opposing team. You can wear shirts that promote your players, like the Brandon Graham shirts, like the Jalen Hurts shirts, like the Jeremiah Trotter shirt. That's cool. But I don't want to see shirts of you being petty and calling out the opposing team, like that Beat Dallas shirt. That wasn't a good look, man, especially the way we got smacked. We got smacked. So calm down with all the shirts, okay? Calm down. We need you to produce on the field with these guys. We need you to scheme people open. We need you to become more creative on offense. We need you to run the ball. Miles Sanders, for yet another season thus far, is underperforming, not because of him, but because Nick Sirianni refuses to run the ball. And he keeps trying to count these RPOs as runs. They're not. You want to know why? Because the ball is getting passed at the end of the day. I'm also not going to count Jalen Hurts runs as well. I'm not comfortable with the fact that Jalen Hurts is leading our team in rushing. I'm not comfortable with that. Yes, he's a mobile quarterback. Yes, he's a dual threat. Yes, he has the legs to do so. Yes, he's dynamic. We get all that. We get that. But Miles Sanders should be leading this team in rushing yards and rushing attempts, not Jalen Hurts. We have too much talent in the running back room for Jalen Hurts to be leading our team in rushing. It's unacceptable. At this rate, Jalen Hurts is going to have about 800 yards rushing on the season. And we can't keep putting now. Granted, he knows when to slide, he knows when to go down, he knows when to go out of bounds. He's smart. He knows when to throw the ball away. He's smart. He knows how to protect his body. But we cannot continue to potentially put this man at risk, because at some point, somebody gonna get a cheap shot on him. Somebody gonna try to pop him. And that's the last thing we need is him getting touched like that. Miles Sanders and Kenny Gainwell should be leading this team as rushing. Why is Jordan Howard not being called up yet? Tell me that. We have too often been worrying about what the other team is doing or not doing. What about focusing on what we're doing and not doing? Nick Sirianni said something very interesting. He said, in the past 2 weeks, he said it on multiple occasions. Yeah, I knew we had to keep up with those guys. Stop trying to keep up with these other teams. Play your brand of football. Make them come down to your level. Ground and pound it. Run the ball. Slow the game down. Get the clock going. Don't get the other team extra possessions. Execute in the red zone. Get this team more disciplined. And yes, I have a lot of passion right now. I have a lot of energy right now. But that's because I have not been pleased with the product we have been getting. I'm not even going to get into analytics. I'm not even going to get into that. I'm not even really a big analytics guy. I'm not even going to get into that. I'm going to get into the eye test, the impact, what I see. This team doesn't seem to know who they want to be. This team is putting on a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde act. We don't know what we're going to get any given Sunday. We don't know what we're going to get. Are we going to get that 30-point Eagles offense, or are we going to get that Dallas Cowboys don't have an identity Eagles offense, or that San Fran Eagles offense? Like, who are we? Who are we? What do we do extravagantly well? We can't close out games. We can't close the deal in the red zone. We can't stop it. We can't plug up the. We can't defend the run. Teams are averaging damn near 5 yards, maybe over 5 yards to carry on us. Make it make sense, you guys. It doesn't add up to me. Let me tell you guys this. I don't even have any notes. This is all off the dome, you guys. I'm just kicking it. Remember when Jeffrey Lurie said that he wanted like a top 5 or a top 10 passing offense or whatever like that? He don't care how he gets it. He wants it. He said he had aspirations for this team to be a top 5, top 10 passing offense, right? But, what if that's not really your team's strengths right now? What if the way your team is presently constructed, what if that's not how they're built? This team is built to run the ball. This team is built to take advantage of play action. This team has a dual threat quarterback. A dual threat quarterback. There's no reason why we shouldn't be running the ball more than 25 times a game. Play to our strengths. I don't get it. I got a strong feeling Jeffrey Lurie and Harry Roseman are in Nick Sirianni's ear saying we need to pass the ball more. We need to pass the ball. No, we don't. We don't need Jalen Hurts throwing the ball 40-plus times a game. I'm comfortable between that 28 to 35 range if we're running the ball 25-plus times. Like, I don't get it. What's up, Bobby? How you feeling, man? I don't know, you guys. But, like I said, man, the YouTube channel has undergone a little bit of a makeover. We got a new logo. You know what I'm saying? We got a new name for the channel, Chalk It Up Sports Philly. We still going by Chalk It Up, but, we just making sure people know exactly what they're getting. Chalk It Up Sports Philly. You feel me? New logo and all that. So I appreciate you guys for locking in. Truly grateful for you guys, man. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Really appreciate you guys, man. Hey, tell me what y'all think of the logo. Tell me what y'all think. How y'all feel about the new name, Chalk It Up Sports Philly? How y'all feel about the new logo? You know what I'm saying? Tell me what y'all thinking. I want to get y'all input. I definitely want to get y'all input. Cause I ain't gonna lie, man. I really like that new logo, man. It's giving me Dipset vibes. You know what I'm saying? But if the Eagles gonna win this game this week, we gotta run the ball. We gotta be disciplined. We gotta wear down that Carolina defense. We gotta wear them down. We can't continue to keep stopping the clock. We have to wear them down, extend the drives, sustain drives. Defense has to get off the field early. You know what I'm saying? We got to score early. Put the pressure on them. Keep them on their back foot early. Bobby Murphy says Sirianni and the staff might be fired after the season. That's my prediction. It's a strong possibility, man. I'm not even going to rule it out. They haven't shown. Now, it's still early in the season. We've only played 4 games. So we don't really know the direction of this team at this point. The schedule only gets harder. The Raiders look human now. The Panthers look human now. What else? Who else we got coming up? We got the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers offense looks a little suspect, but granted, that was they played against the Patriots, and Belichick, he knows what to do against Tom Brady. That's his guy. But yeah, the Raiders look human, so that could potentially be a win. Panthers look human. We could potentially win it. Detroit, they're 0-4, but they're competitive. So we could potentially win or lose that game. Chargers are on fire right now. I'm nervous about that. Broncos look human. Saints look human. Giants suck. Jets suck. Football team sucks. But Heineke is starting to get an identity. They're 2-2, so I can't count them out either. So this schedule is not the hardest, but it damn sure ain't easy. Let's just say what it is. It's not the hardest, but it damn sure ain't easy. We have a lot of questions, y'all. What matchup are y'all not looking forward to? Tell me that one. Which matchup that's left in the season? Which one are you guys not looking forward to? Which one makes y'all nervous as hell? Talk to me. Bobby Murphy says, Gannon has no scheme. In all my years watching ball, never heard that one before. Have you, bro? I've never heard that before. But initially, I thought that was a good thing. I thought that was something like, okay, we're going to switch it up every week. We're going to switch it up every week. We're going to keep guys, keep teams guessing. But he hasn't done that. Teams know exactly what they're getting with Jonathan Gannon's defense. That's what I thought he meant by we don't have a scheme. We're going to just throw different things at different teams. We're going to always cater the game plan to the team that we're playing. But I'm starting to think that's forcing these guys not to be as disciplined. It's just too much. It's just not enough discipline in this team. It seems like no one knows what they're doing. No one knows what their role is. But yeah, let me tell y'all, for me, I'll be honest with y'all. I am not looking forward to that Chargers game. I'm not looking forward to that Chargers game, man. I feel like Justin Herbert is going to carve us up. I'm not looking forward to that Chargers game at all. I got a feeling they're going to carve us up, man. Bobby Murphy says I have two, DJ Moore and Trouba Hubbard. Besides, it looks like McCaffrey might play, so that's three. I feel you, man. But I was talking about for the rest of the season. I'm talking about like the games, like which matchup from an opponent perspective are you guys not looking forward to? I'm not looking forward to that Chargers matchup. I'm not. Yeah, we're gonna be at home, but Justin Herbert is on fire right now. He's on fire, and we got to acknowledge that. I was watching. Bobby Murphy says Tampa and Chargers. I respect that. I was watching Jalen Hurts' press conference, and he said we're this close. I can just feel it. He said we're this close. We just can't get out of our own way, basically. And based off how the offense has looked at times, yeah, the offense can put numbers on the board. Yeah, we know that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, if we not disciplined, if we keep shooting ourselves in the foot, then how the hell can we ever be successful? If we can't sustain drives or close out drives in the red zone with a touchdown, what difference do it make? It don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing, y'all. Another thing too, I feel like we haven't been feeding the tight ends enough. Do y'all feel like the tight ends have been getting enough love? I personally don't think so. Now the game against the Chiefs, we incorporated the tight ends for sure. Zach Ertz had 8 targets. Goddard had 5 targets. Devontae Smith clearly was the guy with 10 targets. But we need to get the ball into our best guys early, like Devontae Smith, like Dallas Goedert, uh, like Quez Watkins, right? It's I don't know. Eagles really says tight ends get more love than running backs. That's true. That's definitely true. The running backs don't get no love, man. I don't. You know, we're in such a bad space right now. We're in such a bad space. And you're right, Bobby. You're right. Last game, the tight ends did get love. They did. So I was mistaken when it comes to the last game. Well, I did mention that, but previously, I just feel that in order to, or here's the bottom line for me. Here's the bottom line. We got to run the ball to get everything else open and going. Period. And the story, and here's the problem, and this is what makes it difficult for content creators. We're dealing with the same problems every week, damn near. So it's like, damn, are we beating a dead horse? We sound ultra repetitive. You know what I'm saying? It sound like we ain't got nothing new to talk about. But it's because we run into the same problems. You know, there's a rumor that Nick Sirianni got real excited in one of his meetings with the team. And I don't know what that really means, but all I know is this team needs to find their identity. They need to figure out what's going on. Also, guys like Darius Slay, they getting tired of losing, man. Darius Slay has not been a part of a winning season yet with the Philadelphia Eagles. It's like he's with the Detroit Lions all over again. He has not had a winning situation with the Eagles, not one time. So I know y'all obviously heard about Jalen Smith going to the Packers and Gilmore going to the Panthers, and you know, I was watching everybody just jump out the window and say, "Oh, we got to sign Jalen Smith. We got to sign Stephon Gilmore." And at the time, I'm like, "Y'all think they trying to go to a bottom feeder team like us?" Stephon Gilmore is trying to go to a contender. Jalen Smith trying to go to a contender. You know what I'm saying? So we, and that's the problem when you down bad. You get so desperate for anything that comes in front of you. Somebody dangle a carrot in your face, and you just get so excited. You get so thirsty. We got so many more problems than what Jalen Smith could fix. It's the reason the Cowboys cut him. Outside of the contract, how much value did he provide? Um, Plus, I believe they're starting to buy into Michael Parsons and Jabril Cox. Then Stephon Gilmore. Like I said, that man wanted to go to a contender. That man not playing around with us. Not playing around with us, man. Why would he ever? Mm. So, who do y'all think is going to have the best game? Who's going to be the star of the Eagles on this Sunday? Who's going to have a great game? What are you guys expecting from guys like Devontae Smith or Kenny Gainwell? You know, who do you guys think is going to be the player of the game for us? Win or lose, who do you guys think is going to be the main guy getting it done? I'm going to say Devontae Smith again. He smelled his first 100-yard game, over 120 yards to be exact, on I believe it was 10 catches. That man want more. That man want more. My bad. 10 targets, 7 catches. Average 17 yards a catch. His longest catch of the day was 37 yards. That man want more. That young man hungry. So I think Devontae Smith is just getting started. He just getting started. If Miles Sanders touched the ball, he go. Yep, Eagles realize you're right. Hopefully Sanders. If Miles Sanders can touch the ball, then we'll be good. Miles Sanders barely touched the ball, man. It's the spookiest thing to me. Spooky. It makes zero sense. Mm. Oh man. Slasher, what's up, bro? He says, "What's up with Gannon playing Cox as a defensive end? Dude should know Cox doesn't have the speed to play." He had that man at DN. I didn't even notice that. He had that man at DN. Is he crazy? Slasher, where you see that at? I'm not saying you wrong, but where you see that at? Was that on the all 22? He had that man at DN for real? Slasher. Stop playing. Slasher, stop playing, man. He had that man at DN. What is Jonathan Gannon doing? What is Jonathan Gannon doing? Oh my God. I believe you, Slasher. I believe you. Fletcher Cox does not have the speed to be a D end. Is Jonathan Gannon sniffing dog food? Is this man smoking dope? This Lord have mercy, man. Lord have mercy. Bobby Murphy says we should have hired Deuce or Josh McDaniel as head coach. Yeah, at least Josh McDaniel would have had these guys disciplined, and Deuce would have had the pulse of the team. At least that very much. Deuce would have had the. My thing is like, when you think about it in hindsight, we brought in Nick Sirianni, a wide receiver specialist, pretty much. Now, granted, our wide receivers needed work, but the quarterback needed that same level of nurturing as well. Why didn't we bring in a guy, a coach that specialized in quarterback development? Think about Andy Reid. He specialized in quarterback development. That's why Donovan McNabb developed into what he did. That's why Michael Vick was able to flourish. That's why Nick Foles was able to flourish when he was with us. Who else? Like, it's just, bro, I don't understand. Slasher said he's so dumb tone. I can't, man. He's trying to play him like Buckner, and he just doesn't have the speed. Exactly. Fletcher Cox was never fast. He may be quick, but he's not fast. He doesn't have the bend to be an end. He doesn't have that bend to get to be a nah, man. That's crazy. That's crazy, you guys. Slash says agreed. We should have got a coach who was more experienced with QBs. Bruh. I'm not jumping off the Hurts train. I'm still rocking with Hurts. I'm still supporting that. I'm still supporting that young man. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Sometimes I get excited. But I'm still supporting Hurts. He still got my vote of confidence. But Nick Sirianni, my faith is dwindling in him. Jonathan Gannon, Shane Steichen, my faith is dwindling. My thing is, Shane Steichen should have been the head coach. He was the one responsible for Justin Herbert's development. Why wasn't Shane Steichen hired as the head coach? And then is the fact that the staff's so young, is that a factor? Is that a factor? I'm starting to believe it is. I'm starting to believe that the youth of this staff is the reason why we lack discipline. I'm really starting to believe that. In the past 2 weeks, this defense has given up 83 points and over 800 yards of offense to the opposing teams. We have to get it together. Slasher says, agreed. The coaching staff is very suspect, my man. And can I send links in here? It's on Twitter. Just look, yo, Javon Hargrave, and go to videos and you'll see Cox playing the end. Yeah, you can drop a link in here, man. You can drop the link. Like I'm starting to believe the youth of this staff is having a negative impact on this roster when it comes to discipline. I mentioned in my previous video, Prove It or Lose It, I mentioned that Jonathan Gannon has the most to prove and Nick Sirianni has the most to lose. Like Jonathan Gannon, this Eagles defense has been regressing week by week. And Gannon's competence and his scheme are being called into question for a very good reason. Like I said, in the past 2 weeks, he gave up 83 points and over 800 yards in total offense to the opposing team. The rush defense has been horrible. The road only gets tougher from here. And on top of that, we got the Panthers this week. Like I said, DJ Moore is legit. Robbie Anderson is legit. Christian McCaffrey is legit. We better hope Christian McCaffrey don't play. And Sam Darnold is playing his best football. Now, granted, he's still developing, he's still growing, but he's playing his best football. Sam Darnold ain't looked as good since he's been in the league. Like Gannon has to find a way to reestablish the identity of his defense. Otherwise, he's gonna find himself out of a job. You know, he got the most to prove right now. And then Nick Sirianni, you know, so far, he hasn't looked as innovative as he was advertised to be. You know, like I mentioned, the offense is doing this whole Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde routine. One game we play this way, another game we played another way. Like we don't know who we are or who we want to be. And like I mentioned, the youth of this roster, you can't help but to think that Nick Sirianni's emotion, his passion is rubbing off on his team negatively. Yes, Nick Sirianni is an emotional guy. He's a very passionate guy. He wears his heart on his sleeve. I relate to that. But sometimes you need a stabilizer. You need someone who's going to be ultimately even killed in situations no matter what's going on. Nick Sirianni is just too reactive. And I'm starting to think this team is starting to operate the same way. The discipline is just not there. It's not there. Like, there's nothing wrong with passion. But when it doesn't materialize in the wins and discipline, it could be seen as a crutch rather than a lift or a scaffold. You know? Those guys got a lot to prove and a lot to lose this week, man. A lot. Slash says you can't have young guys and young coaches. It just doesn't work, unfortunately. We need to bring in a veteran presence in there. Just imagine this guy Sirianni if he was in the playoff game for the chip. Bro, I don't even know, man. I just don't even know. Like, we lack discipline all across the board. From top to bottom, we lack discipline. Like, and then let's talk about Howie Roseman. Let's talk about him. Howie Roseman is a joke. He's a joke. And I'm telling you, he has to be held accountable for the past few years. He has to be held accountable. Bobby says Deuce was too run oriented. That's why he wasn't hired. And Josh McDaniels wanted more control and shit. Listen, man, at this point, based on this roster, running the ball would have been better. Running the ball would have been smarter. With the way the team is currently constructed, it would have been smarter to have Deuce Staley. You know what I'm saying? At least with Josh McDaniels, this team would have been buttoned up. Like Howie Roseman hasn't produced a Pro Bowler in how many years? In how many years? A one he's drafted. In the past 3 years, how many Pro Bowlers have we drafted? How many? Slasher says Deuce wasn't hired because they didn't think anything would change in the scheme. That's a possibility as well. That's a possibility as well. I just felt like hiring Deuce would have been the safe option, and it would have been easier to unplug that situation if it didn't work. Whereas though bringing in an entire new staff, an entire new head coach, it kind of locks you in a little bit. It makes it harder for you to backtrack on that mistake. At least elevating Deuce Staley to the head coaching spot would then seem like a more of a natural transition. Slasher says Fletcher Cox is the last one he drafted that made a Pro Bowl. But how many years ago was that? How many years ago was that he drafted him? I mean, in the past few years, who did we draft that made a Pro Bowl? Like, who did we draft in the past few years that made a Pro Bowl? Nobody. Miles Sanders should be making hella Pro Bowls. But he don't get the ball enough. Slasher says Chip Kelly drafted Brandon Graham, Kelsey, Lane, basically all the guys that we won a Super Bowl with. Howie Roseman didn't even draft. Exactly. See, the one thing I can say about Chip Kelly, he knew talent. Maybe he was an egomaniac, but he knew talent. He drafted Brandon Graham, Kelsey, and Lane Johnson. Those are two pillars on our offense and defense. At least Chip Kelly knew talent. A bit of an egomaniac. Maybe his scheme wasn't really conducive to the NFL, but he knew talent. Howie Roseman should have stayed in the damn janitor's closet. You want to know the only thing on Howie Roseman resume that I would even give him credit for is making the moves he made mid-season during the Super Bowl year. That's the only credit I give him. Bringing in Jay Ajayi, bringing in LeGarrette Blount at the beginning of the year. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Like bringing in Alshon Jeffrey. You know, bringing in Torrey Smith. You know, it was the perfect storm. It was the perfect combination of players. Everybody knew their role specifically. And on top of that, number 11 was doing his thing for us. But and then number 9, Nick Foles closed the deal. Forever enshrined in Eagles lore, Eagles history. We'll never have to pay for another cheesesteak, another soft pretzel, another water ice again in the city. Forever immortalized. But you think about the guys Chip Kelly drafted. You think about the guys Howie Roseman drafted. Howie Roseman does not know talent. This might have been his best draft in years. But Devontae Smith, you can't screw that up, right? Kenny Gainwell, that was a good pickup. But I feel like that was more of a Nick Sirianni pick. Howie also did bring in Malcolm Jenkins. He did bring in Malcolm Jenkins. Yes. See, he's all right when it comes to the free agents. He's okay with that, but that's not showing his acumen with knowing talent. Those guys are proven products. Bringing in Malcolm Jenkins, and I appreciate you for saying that, Slasher. But Malcolm Jenkins was a proven product at that time. Brandon Brooks, a proven product. Jason Peters, a proven product. Who else? Javon Hargrave, a proven product. LeGarrette Blount and Jay Ajayi, proven products. Alshon Jeffrey, a proven product. Torrey Smith, a proven product. Rodney McLeod, a proven product. He brought in that's his specialty, the whole contract game, man, the free agents. But you can't keep bringing in free agents. You got to actually have a good farm system. You have to actually develop guys. And Howie Roseman doesn't know talent through the draft. We all know that. He decided to draft Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson. And that was a mistake. And we have to live with that. Now, I want to give Jalen Reagor the benefit of the doubt because he's still young, still growing in this team. He's not really the main guy on the offense, but we had a chance to get Justin Jefferson, and we did it. That should say everything. So Ashley says, Howie also needs to understand when it's the right time to let old guys go on massive contracts as well. Exactly. I agree with you on that, man. We hold on to guys too long. We sign guys too late in their careers. We're too married to guys, man. We're too married to them. Is it about the organization or is it about our egos? This Eagles team will not win another. The Super Bowl was the worst thing that happened to this organization. Why, you ask? Because it inflated Howie Roseman's ego. It inflated Jeffrey Lurie's ego. We fired our Super Bowl winning head coach. Yes, Frank Reich is partially responsible for how that team looked. But Doug Peterson was the head coach. He had to be the orchestrator. He had to be the conductor for everything going on. And we fired that guy. I understand that Doug Peterson didn't have a good season last year. But he had us in the playoffs every season except for this first year when he got here and his last season. He had us in the playoffs. Out of the 5 seasons he was here, he had us in the playoffs 3 out of the 5 seasons. Won a Super Bowl. Made it to the divisional round. It then lost in a wild card. He had us competitive. He had the pulse of the team to a degree. That team last season dealt with so many injuries. It's kind of hard to fairly judge everybody for last year. Granted, the play calling wasn't really it was suspect, and we didn't run the ball like that as well. But nonetheless, we fired a Super Bowl winning head coach to bring in the daycare center. Has Nick Sirianni showed you guys anything that leads y'all to trust him in the long term? Now look, rookie head coach, damn near rookie quarterback, rookie wide receiver. A lot of growing pains need to come. A lot. But I'm just not seeing enough discipline for me to trust this guy. Now let me put it to you like this. Cliff Kingsbury, the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, they weren't good initially when he first got there, but they're starting to get it together. Their offense looks legit. Their offense looks potent. You know what I'm saying? But also, the last time they started 4-0, or what is it, 3-1 or 4-0, whatever, they lost the rest of their games. So I don't know. Maybe shoot, like my thing is, I understood that we weren't a Super Bowl contender this season. I knew that we weren't going to be the cream of the crop or the bells of the ball. I knew that. I knew that. But I expected this team to be a lot more disciplined than what they are. I expected this team to have a little bit more of an identity. I expected us to run the ball a little bit more. We're not running the ball. Bobby says, I think Andy Reid drafted Kelsey, bro. Slasher says, you might be right, Bobby, but he still drafted Lane and Graham, and they are two cornerstone Pro Bowls on his team. Yeah, y'all might be right. I'm not exactly sure who drafted who really, but those Andy Reid and Chip Kelly brought in those guys, bottom line. Eagle Slayer says, Doug was tired of being treated like a dog by Howie and Laurie. Can't say I blame him, honestly. Yeah, I don't blame him either. I don't blame him. Now, it'd be different if he left, but he got fired, so I think he would have stayed here. But they just had different opinions on where the team should go direction wise. But my thing is, this guy got y'all a Super Bowl. How can you not trust him? His worst season was last season, and we dealt with crazy injuries, and the quarterback play was terrible. So can you really blame him? Can you blame him really? T. Lewis says, I'm not gonna lie, this season for me is a wash. We're not talented enough, and that's okay. We will use our 3 first-round picks and get right. Rome wasn't built in a day. I agree with you on that. Rome was not built in a day, and this team is far from being a contender or a competitor for a Super Bowl or even a playoff spot. We're not there yet. But I expected us to be a little bit more cohesive. I expected us to have a little bit more of an identity on offense. I expected us to run the ball more. I didn't expect this defense to be this bad. Bobby Murphy says Doug should have never been fired. Won a Super Bowl in year 2 and made the playoffs 3 out of 5 years. Doug wanted to be fired. He was tired of Howie and Laurie. I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't be surprised. Eagle Slayer says I think he wanted to be fired to not put up with Howie shit anymore. It's a possibility, you guys. It's a very strong possibility. It's a strong possibility. My thing is, we got rid of all the people except for the real problem. Howie Roseman is still here. Still. And we're expecting things to change. Howie Roseman is a sucker. He's not the guy. He's a flea. He's a weasel. And I'm going to hold that man accountable. I'm going to hold him to the fire every single time. Every single time I'm going to hold him to the fire. Every single time, man. It's freaking ridiculous. It makes no sense. Let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think Howie Roseman is going to be fired if this season is a wash? Do y'all think Howie Roseman is going to get fired? Slasher says Josh Sweat is an exciting player, man. He should get a sack or two Sunday. Was it said that his sack got called back off a penalty last week against Kid? Yeah, bro, that was bad. I was pissed off that his sack got called back because that sack actually helped us. I think it pushed them out of field goal position or something like that. But like we were just giving away yards last week. Josh Sweat need to eat, man. Josh Sweat need to take advantage of everything. Like Josh Sweat needs to step up a little bit more. Slasher said, Bobby Murphy says after last season, Doug will be back as head coach. Then they met in person after. Doug got fired, yo. Eagle Slayer says, nope. Bro, there's no way a GM should be in. I'm telling you, bro. If Howie Roseman is not fired after this season, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mind, bro. He better not get an extension. Harry Roseman better not get an extension. How are you guys feeling about Lane Johnson's situation, man? Like, does Lane Johnson? Why do you guys think Lane Johnson's been missing games? What do you think? What do you guys think is going on with Lane Johnson? It says personal reasons, but what do you guys think has been going on? He's not hurt, but what do you guys think is going on? Slasher says, unfortunately, probably not. I don't think Laurie will let him go. Bro, I don't understand why he won't let him go. I don't understand it. Eagle Surrey says, we have 2 Jerry Joneses running the ship. Yay. The only difference is they don't care about being in the spotlight. But you might as well say they basically Jerry Jones minus the damn mouthpiece. I pray for rain when it comes for this team, man. Come to this team. I pray for rain. I pray, man. I really do pray. Oh, but I think I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. I'm getting pretty hungry, so I'm gonna catch up with you guys a little later. I'm gonna drop some content for you. Y'all already know how I get down. Once again, I appreciate you guys for sticking with my journey, sticking with the content. You guys have been showing me unconditional love. I'm so humbled by it. Also, you guys, like I said, the YouTube channel was no longer called Tone DeShields II. The YouTube channel was called Chalk It Up Sports Philly. That's the name of the YouTube channel going forward. Chalk It Up Sports Philly. I really appreciate the love, you guys. So great for you, man. Slasher says, honestly, it sucks, but I think Dillard has been doing good, and if Melodic can stay healthy, he can fill Lane's shoes. Here's my problem. Before I get out of here, Slasher, real quick. Here's my problem. Dillard had too many penalties last week. He had like 3 or 4 penalties on just him. On just him, he had penalties. That's a problem for me. So he need to get that cleaned up. But yeah, you guys, I'm about to get out of here. Appreciate you guys. Like I said, man, the YouTube channel went through a little bit of a makeover. We got a new logo. You know what I'm saying? We got a new look. We got a new name for the channel. New look, new name, same energy, same vibe, same passion, same tone, y'all. I really appreciate the love. I appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me. And I'm out of here, man. One love. Stay humble. Stay healthy. And most importantly, stay hungry. And fly was fly.